Steve Kim here at the Boxing Laboratory in Oxnard, California with John David Jackson, the trainer of Sergey Kovalev. They take on André Ward once again June 17th at the Mandalay Bay. And John, according to reports, are you at the wrong gym? Wrong camp?
If you listen to reports that are out there, supposedly I am. You know.
John, there was a report on Boxing Scene that you almost jumped ship, that you were going to go to the other side like Benedict Arnold. Clarify what happened.
Well, you know, just to capsize a little bit, you know, make it short 4 years. I was approached. I was approached to jump ship and go help train André Ward for this upcoming fight. As you see, I'm still here. Ship was not jumped. You know, I'm not gonna get into it a lot, but just to let the fans know, I did not initiate the initial meeting of the minds to see if I could leave and go with Ward's team.
Was it an easy decision to stay with Sergey?
Yes, out of loyalty it was. You know, I've been with Sergey going on 6 years now, and I've been with him before he won the title. And you know, it's the right thing to do. He and I started with this title together, and we need to finish and get this victory together and move on.
John, let's go back to November, the first fight that took place at the T-Mobile Arena. I know you guys thought you won, but was there anything as you look back at the film and you look back in hindsight that you wish would have been different, specifically in the second half of the fight?
Well, you know, Steve, you said it exactly. You hit around the head. The second half of the fight was the part that didn't suit us too well. Sergey still won the fight. I don't care how you look at it. He dominated the first half completely. He won maybe 5-1 or 6-0. Second half of the fight, I had a 3-3, 4-2 for André. Still doesn't give him the fight. Plus a knockdown. You know, we just have to be a little more different in our pursuit. The second half of the second fight around. I thought Sergey won it. The only thing they didn't do differently, they need to do differently this fight is keep his foot on the gas pedal in the second half of the fight.
Will you impress upon him the need on the inside to not fall into the grappling and perhaps dig to the body just a little bit more?
Exactly. Here's the thing. Both fighters, you know, they have a tendency to grab. In the last fight, anyway, Sergey grabbed a lot for whatever reason, and André does that. The second fight around, and here's the thing that I definitely tell Sergey. Ward's not a body puncher. But in order to be a body puncher, you have to be able to be willing to accept punishment. Mm-hmm. How much punishment is Ward willing to accept if Sergey starts digging real deep and hard to the body? Those questions have to be answered. So I don't think that Ward will sit there and take that kind of punishment if he has to.
Going back to that first night, you were not as vocal as I think you wanted to be in the corner. Will you have a little bit more control of the ship going into this rematch?
Well, for the second go around, I have a lot more control. You know, certain things happened in that fight that were not within my power, and we'd accept it. So, but once the fight ended, you could see that those things didn't work, and Sergey realized that. So we're going to go back to the way things used to be. I'm going to run the ship, and we're going to see what happens with that.
John, it seems to me that Sergey Kovalev is highly motivated to the point of being angry. Boxing is not always positive if you're using negative energy. Can his anger be channeled in the right way, you believe?
I believe so, Steve. You know, we've discussed that, and I always put that in his head every day in camp. You know, don't go into this fight looking for the knockout. Don't be so mad about what happened. You can't change what happened the first fight. The decision was made. The judge not going to change it. It's not going to be overruled. So you'd accept it. You know, you now get that hunger back to become champion, but don't channel it into a way which you were trying to knock this guy with every shot. Break him down systematically and do what you do best. The first, like I said, if you fight the first half of the fight, the second half of the fight, put more pressure on him, make him fight you. You win the fight easily. I told him, you know, 6 years ago he could beat Ward, and in the first half of the fight he proved he could beat Ward. Now, in the second go around, let's take the second half of that fight, and let's keep proving that you can beat Ward.
John, there seems to be a perception that I've heard from several people that André Ward can make adjustments. He can get better from the first time, and Sergey Kovalev can't. Okay, I'm judging by your reaction. That seems to perturb you just a little bit.
No, I laugh at it. I'll tell you why, Steve. Because, you know, look at the first fight. Ward came on the second half, but he wasn't dominating. He did just have to survive and maybe win a few rounds with a few adjustments. He has to make bigger adjustments because in the first half of the second fight, can he really make Sergey respect him the way that he needs to? You know, he has to make more adjustments than Sergey does. Sergey's a small adjustment that he needs to make, and then like I said, for the second half of the fight, make sure that he's in good shape to survive that second half of it. Ward has to make bigger adjustments. He has to be more aggressive. He has to use less movement. if he wants to really win this fight the second time around.
June 17th, John, I know you're not a soothsayer. I know you don't have a crystal ball, but what do you think happens?
I'm hoping for the fans. I'm hoping for a great fight. The first fight was nice. Could have been a little more action-packed. I'm hoping for the second fight around. Both of these fighters have the real disdain for it the way they say they do. Then make it a good fight that the fans will talk about for years to come. So I'm hoping for a better fight than the first fight. First fight wasn't bad. If things go right the way they should and Sergey does what he's supposed to, he wins.
All right, that's it. John David Jackson, trainer of Sergey Kovalev. They take on André Ward June 17th at the Mandalay Bay. This is Steve Kim for UCN Live.